This is something that is hardly surprising. I left my job at The Guardian because I was no longer allowed to say what I wanted to say. I suffered the consequences of expressing a view contrary to the liberal orthodoxy. So, yeah, I mean, it's The Guardian. Yeah, I could have told you that. I don't even work there. The other night, the familiar whispering started. I was at a prestigious private view in a famous gallery, and women after women came up to me and whispered that they supported my views on gender ideology. Fight the good fight, they said. Often men say this too, and more commonly, younger and younger people on the street, bus, or tube. Yes, one thing is, was it if there is hope, it lies with the Zoomers, because the Zoomers they are getting fucking sick of this shit. My views, put simply, are that biology is real, that single-sex spaces for women should be maintained, that children should not be medicalised via hormones and surgery, and that trans people should be treated with respect and dignity. All of that, I think, is completely fair. I think that's completely fair, because the phrase that a lot of people say is, yes, you are allowed to have your life and your identity, but how much do I have to participate in your identity? My view is that no one has any obligation whatsoever to participate in your identity. They can tell you to fuck off. If you don't like it, then just don't associate with that person. There you are, very easy, problem solved. However, no, you must like me. You must tell me what I am, what I think I am. You must say I'm pretty. You are never ever allowed to criticize any of the things I do ever. Let me talk to your children. These everyday views are considered transphobic by my own tribe, the nebulous blob that we might call the left, hence the whispering, the private messages, endless DMs and emails from those too afraid to say these things in public. And that's one thing about the chilling effect. It's the same thing that happened with Trump. There are a lot more of those people out there than you know. There are so many of them, but they don't want to risk their job, their life, their career, blah, blah, blah. So they keep their mouth shut. That's why Trump, I believe, won in 2016, because all the polls were coming up Hillary Clinton, because people didn't want to get fired from their jobs and people didn't want to get shit for it. People just didn't want to get in an argument. So whenever they went, who are you voting for? People went, Hillary. When they weren't. They just were worried about losing their job. And I think that's why the cathedral went into the election with such confidence. And then when the votes started coming in, they were like, no, wait, that. And it was too late. And now this time they're just deciding to cut all of that out by putting Trump in jail before he gets in power. They have reason to be fearful. Women who have challenged this orthodoxy have lost their jobs, their income, their reputations, and have in some cases, including mine, been subject to death and rape threats for several years, usually from the trans lobby. They are a very violent group. My experience has pushed me to see that something I took for granted, free speech, is something that has to be fought for by each generation. Everyone is theoretically for free speech until suddenly they are not. And yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Until suddenly they find themselves mouthing something they are afraid to say out loud and are afraid to put into writing. I do not want to be melodramatic. Free speech in law is a qualified, not absolute right. It's an absolute right, darling. It's an absolute right. Right, you know, you want to have it God-given or from man's own logic or whatever. I mean, the ideal one that I operate on is it comes from man's own logic. What is the moral right thing to do in this circumstance? What benefits and causes the greatest good? This one, cool. Then the government should enforce it because rights don't come from the government. They come from man's own logic and reason. This right shall include freedom to hold and to receive and impart information and ideas without interference by public authorities and regardless of frontiers. I believe that's Article 10 of the European Convention of Human Rights that she is quoting there. The first paragraph, Section 1. Section 1 is beautiful. Section 1 is absolutely beautiful. But you know how I say when people go, freedom of speech is nice, but, which means they don't believe in freedom of speech. Well, Section 2 of Article 10 is a very, very big but. So, yeah, it's not an effective piece of legislation based on that second paragraph because it's a massive grey area and then governments can come in and stamp out your speech for any reason that they make up on the spot. So, yeah, we don't have it. But as for it being a qualified right, well, if that's the case, then I'm afraid you lost your qualification to that right when you said things that were harmful to people. You said things that could have damaged. I mean, you're literally killing them. See how that works? That's why qualified right doesn't work. Because if it's a qualified right, that means it can be taken away. What reasons can it be taken away for? Well, whatever reasons the government has written into law. And the reasons the government have written into law are very, very broad, vague, grey areas so that it can take away your speech for any reason. That's why the whole, it's a qualified right doesn't work. It doesn't work. As soon as you say it's a qualified right, that's it. You don't have it. because the government can take it away for any reason. Essentially, freedom of speech allows the testing of ideas and the possibility, as always, that some ideas might make some people uncomfortable. That's correct. I do not see it as a left or right issue. I also agree with that. Free speech benefits literally everyone. So I don't understand, oh, this guy supports free speech. What is he, some kind of Nazi? Isn't it nice you've got the freedom to say that? Fucking turkeys voting for Christmas. We all know that all over the world. We know all over the world that freedom of expression is under attack and pride ourselves that in this country it isn't. No, 100% definitely under attack here and has been for many years. But I'm here to tell you otherwise. Oh, God, good thing you're here. And to mourn that this highest of values is not being passed on to younger generations. For a lot of them it is. However, you are getting the little ones that are unfortunately listening to their liberal propaganda machine teachers, and they are falling down the rabbit hole. Mostly autistics, because they are extremely impressionable. Have you noticed that? Let me be clear, my freedom of speech has not been curtailed by stating my views that sex is real and immutable, whereas gender identity is just some newly fashionable version of the soul. I suffered the consequences of expressing a view contrary to the liberal orthodoxy, the oft-parroted dogma that trans women are women and non-binary identities are valid. Your freedom of speech has not been curtailed. Okay, then, let's go into this. Were you fired? When I was raised the question of the competing rights between biological women and trans women in the paper I then worked for, The Guardian, my world went bonkers for a while. A trans person who worked at the paper, I never went into the office, who had already resigned earlier, resigned again, and 338 staff signed an anonymous letter about transphobia in that organisation. I was not named, except the person that the letter was leaked to indicated it was clearly about me. So basically you were bullied out of your job for the opinions that you had. Now, social consequences are one thing, but see, when it comes to employment consequences, that's a completely different thing. If people at work didn't want to associate with you, they didn't want to associate with you. That's fine, that's their prerogative. But for them to try and get you fired, your free speech rights were curtailed. It all ended up with me choosing to leave a good job because I could no longer say what I wanted to say there. This is not a sob story. I was welcomed at the Daily Telegraph, who have honoured their promise that I would not be censored. My position then is privileged, unlike that of the teaching assistants, medics, and those working in the arts, who dare not speak up against the prevailing ideology for fear of losing their jobs and who email me daily. Women have been demonised for liking a tweet. This new McCarthyism is fueled by social media witch hunt. I love how, obviously, because she worked at the Guardian, she has a left-wing ideologue. Give her time, boys. She's getting there. She's still trying to go, oh, my side's not wrong. They're not wrong, and I haven't had my rights curtailed. You have, darling. Don't worry. You'll get there eventually. They absolutely were. And yes, the things that you've said there at the end were absolutely true. They were absolutely true and correct. This is McCarthyism. I just love at the end you're using the exact same things that we say all the time, except the phrase that we use is McContraism. Right? Remember Contra, ContraPoints, or whatever the hell their name is. They made this big massive video. And this was back when Charlottesville happened, and that's when they started saying stuff like everyone's a fascist, they're a fascist, they could be under your bed, they could be under your floorboards. And then they said the phrase, after all, I'm not a fascist, is exactly what a fascist would say. And ever since that video went viral because of Charlottesville, everyone and their gran being called a fascist just went whoop like that. I actually hold Contra responsible for that. Right, and that's why I called it McContraism, because it is, everyone's a fascist. They're all over the place. You are hiding the fascists under your floorboards, aren't you not? That type of thing. Such women are vilified as TERFs, trans-exclusionary radical feminists, who deserve to be tortured and burnt. Look at what happened to J.K. Rowling when she said some very mild things about protecting women's rights. When women want to gather together, there are usually counter-protests to try and shut us down. Oh, well... Really, but your free speech isn't being attacked, is it? One way to end free speech is, of course, violence, and that is what has happened often on university campuses, where the authorities are running scared of their ever more fragile students. They no longer believe, oh, that was a brave thing to say in your line of work. They no longer believe that the job of university education is to critically challenge ideas, but rather to imbibe imported cultist ideology. This is an utter dereliction of duty, and we are all the poorer for it. Is stating that there are two sexes detrimental to anyone's mental health. Please don't tell them where babies come from. Right, I understand that you feel, I have had an epiphany, I'm going to tell everyone. I don't mean to make fun of you or anything like that. I'm not trying to besmirch your work. You're making all the exact same points that we have been shouting about for years now. For years, for like a decade now. All these things that you've just said, the universities are doing it. Yep, we pointed that out a long time ago. It's one of our main talking points. So, see how us, the big bad fascist libertarian Nazis, apparently, you're making our talking points. You're doing the exact same thing. But all I'll say is welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. But this isn't new. This isn't new territory that you're covering. This isn't an epiphany you've had. This was something that we all realised a long time ago. You're just realising it now. This isn't new information, but still, welcome to the club. Well done for writing the article. You'll get there eventually. Employment-wise, I have not been harmed nor cancelled nor silenced, but then I'm a fairly flame retardant witch. Personally, though, it has been horrible. Former friends do not speak to me anymore. Presumably, I'm too busy enacting a genocide on trans folk to care, but I do care. I've always had friends with whom I disagree with on certain subjects, and so what? I'm the same. I talk to everyone. Well, this is the thing that's weird is I talk to people in the far right. We play Mount and Blade together, or Rust sometimes. The voice, the see whenever I'm in a game with them and I see their microphone icon come on, I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no, here we go. I'll chat to them. I talk to everyone, right? I talk to some like communists and far leftists, but the vast majority of them are not willing to engage with me, like at all. Like the far right guys, and I'm not saying like, oh, they're far right, are they? No, the real ones. We chat and everything, and we hang out. We disagree on a hell of a lot, and I'll give them shit about their fascism that they unironically believe in, and they'll give me shit about libertarianism and everything. And there's a good bit of banter, a good bit of back and forth, and stuff like that. But I'll talk to anyone. I don't care who I talk to, and all that. I mean, within reason, I won't talk to any Steins Gate fans. Other friendships have changed because of the things we can no longer talk about. I still have trans mates and know many whose kids are going through gender dysphoria, for which I have enormous empathy. So, I have been subject to what the great writer Chimamanda, I'm not pronouncing that, referred to as social censure, after she said simply that trans women are trans women. I am no longer invited to events, parties, discussions in the way that I used to be, and I was told I am on a BBC blacklist. Why? But again, you've not had your free speech rights trampled on, have you? Might I suddenly, in a discussion about politics, blurt out, only women have a cervix? What is everyone afraid of? As Chimamanda said, the concern here is not with goodness, or I would say actual trans rights, but the appearance of goodness. Yes, that's very correct. That's another thing that we've been talking about, where a lot of these people don't actually care about the things they're talking about. We've discussed this before, where they are actually psychopaths that want to do bad things, but they want the social get out of jail card for doing the bad things. I can't believe you just went up and punched that man in the face. Oh, but he was a TERF. Oh, okay, well, that's fine then. It's basically an excuse for them to enact their psychotic tendencies while maintaining their ego and public perception and what everyone thinks of them, which psychopaths are deeply, deeply concerned with. So, yeah. It's a handy little tool that they can use. Thankfully, love and support has flowed towards me from surprising directions. However, people aren't going to turn around and outwardly, in public support you. They'll do it in private, which is the same thing that happened to us. See the sheer amount of celebrities, big major like UK comedians or like in America or people that work in TV or actors in some cases who will send me a cheeky wee message and go, is it alright if we talk as long as you promise not to post these DMs anywhere or talk to them? I'm not going to talk to you until you promise. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I promise. And then they go, I support blah, blah, blah. This is what I think. I'm very nervous about it. Other big YouTubers and all that stuff as well have contacted me about it. And I will never give names because, people might go, oh, what cowards. Look, these people have got families to feed. These people have got children, they've got families. I completely understand. I get it. I completely get it. A huge part of the abstract debate on free speech ignores what is really happening. While we may insist that we are free, actually many self-censor so as to not offend anyone else. We have this neutered discourse instead. That's why I like the Fight Club thing. If you're going to get cancelled, just get it over and done with and then work at a place where your manager doesn't care. Like, I have never felt more free in my entire life than I do now, where I can go on the internet and I can say whatever I want to say, and what's going to happen? Nothing. There's no job that can fire me. There's no job that can fire me. My sponsors are already well aware that everyone lies about me all the time. I love Raid Shadow Legends purely because people were like, he's a Nazi, and Raid Shadow Legends went, he's not, shut up. You know what, man? So, yeah, it's brilliant. Like, the cancel part is hard because obviously monetary income and stuff like that, you know, that's an issue. But after it, goddamn, it's only when you've lost everything are you truly free to do anything. Fight Club. The truth is often offensive. The truth is often offensive to the powerful. I like that. Okay, that's good. I like that. You stole our talking points. I'm stealing this phrase. The freedom to offend is absolutely paramount, as Salman Rushdie said. Language is courage, the ability to conceive a thought, to speak it, and by doing so, to make it true. What is freedom of expression? Without the freedom to offend, it ceases to exist. Now, we can all bitch about being cancelled, right? I was cancelled. Many other people have been cancelled. I don't think anyone has ever been cancelled as hard as Salman Rushdie. He's been cancelled for like going on like what, 30, 30 years now or something like that. He has literal fatwas on him. Like just last year, he was rushed on stage and someone tried to stab him. Someone tried to murder him. He lost an eye because of the sheer amount of cancellation that he went through over with a particular religious group. Right now, I'd like see when I can sit there and go, I've been cancelled. If Salman Rushdie's on the stage with me, I would be like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, he wins. The self-policing has to stop. Incredibly, the offence that I caused at The Guardian is now the policy of the party that the paper supports. Labour now agrees that sex and gender are not the same, an unusual turn for Labour, but Labour made the sensible decision and realised that the public at large fucking hate this shit. They cannot stand it. Yeah, a 40-year-old man in a dress can get changed in a changing room next to your 4-year-old daughter. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not, right? Because I one thing that I will say, right, out of all the trans people out there, there are a small amount who this is just my belief, there are a small amount who genuinely have it. Genuinely have it. These are, because I know trans people that went and every single bit of surgery, they've got facial surgery, they had absolutely everything. Those are the people where I'm like, all right, okay. That's you spent how fucking much? Jesus Christ. Okay, then, I think that's real. Okay, then, that's fine. I completely believe that. Then there are guys in their 40s and 50s, you know, just out of nowhere, wearing dresses and turning up to these places, not even bothering to shave. So I would say 1% of them are real. That's the real genuine shit. The other 99% are dirty bastards. They're dirty bastards. And I know why they're doing it. I know why. Because there's lots of articles that come out about guys who look exactly like I just described, like doing a bunch of heinous shit. Have you noticed? Labour now agrees that sex and gender are not the same, and basically they were losing votes. People were like, no, we're not down with this stuff at all. So Labour started to get sensible again, you know, to an extent. Maybe they learnt something. I certainly have. Without free speech, we may kid ourselves that we are safe. Far from it. We have simply given away our power. In cherishing freedom of speech, we are cherishing truth. Don't whisper that, shout it. Okay, well, what was your name again, Hen? Suzanne Moore, right, okay. You are saying a lot of the exact same talking points that we've all been saying for years and years now. Right, you say that your free speech rights weren't trampled upon, they were. See the social stuff where I don't get invited to parties, I don't get invited to this, that's part and parcel of it. Right, what you then do is you surround yourself with people who are brave. That's what I've done. Right, I surround myself with people that are brave. You know, I've had people message me like, oh, are you in London or do you want to go for drinks, but can you like not take selfies or anything like that? I'll have a drink with that person, but I wouldn't consider them an associate or anything like that. But I've got people who hang out with me and don't give a fuck. I've got people that hang out with me and truly don't care. And I enjoy that. Okay, surround yourself with people like that. Social consequences, yeah, 100% those consequences are absolutely valid when it comes to freedom of speech, because nobody owes you their time, labour, or companionship. Nobody owes you that. Everyone's completely in control of their own bodies. You know, it's up to them. It's completely up to them for any reason whether or not they want to associate with you. In regards to employment and stuff like that, oh, well, then it would be political discrimination. You know, outside of an actual political party. You know, if I went, I am a libertarian, I'm a Hoppian libertarian, and I tried to join the Labour Party, and Labour went, No. I'd be like, fair enough. Because for obvious reasons. Same as if a communist tried to join the Tories and Tories went, no. Like that makes sense there. But however, if both of them tried to get a job in Tesco and Tesco went, well, not with those politics, then it's a very, very different circumstance in that regard. However, all I will say is, Suzanne, you made some very, very good points, and welcome to the party, pal.